Hi, my name is Jason Slater. I'm leading a presentation on our final project for our class object programming. And first of all, I have the rubric kind of lined out by me, just so I don't miss any points before we cover our presentation. First of all, just your screen share real quick. Okay, this is our program. First of all, our program, we were supposed to have array lists as well as enums. I'll explain the difference real quick between those. So an array is just a fixed list of objects in the program. And by fixed, I mean that length, whatever length that array is made into, is going to be stuck that way. It's not going to change. And within that list, all those objects need to be of the same type, whether they're string or integers, that kind of thing. And so that length can't be changed, but the objects within inside can be changed. But they can only be changed to the same type as the other objects. And so that's an array. As well, there are enums. So enums are similar to arrays in that the length they are made is fixed. They're not going to be changed. The only difference is those objects within that enum can't be changed either. So there's no changing, nothing you can do with enums. Once they're made, they're stuck. And then there's array lists. Now array lists differ because they can be changed. Whatever the length is, the length can be changed, as well as the objects inside can be changed, as well as they can be different types of objects. So they don't all have to be the same. Just like arrays and enums, where their objects have to be all the same. So first of all, okay, so right here we have an array being made. The location array, it's a two-dimensional array. You can see we have these two sets of brackets right there. And actually, so that's an array being made. Right here you have an enum, and so this is just a list of the scenes, start scene, fight scene, all those. And for an array list, for our program, we actually didn't have any array lists that were needed. We didn't think in our program, whereas, for example, in the example program, there was an array list needed because of the inventory item. But we didn't have that necessity for that array list. But really, the differences between them, like when you want to use an array or an enum, really just depends on those differences between whether or not you want to be able to change how many objects are in your list or the objects inside of it. So if you needed to change how many there were, an array list is definitely the one you're going to be wanting to go with. Whereas enums and arrays, you can't change them the length, but arrays you can change the objects inside of it. But one difference as well, arrays and enums are more efficient for the memory-wise for the CPU, because memory-wise, the memory is going to take in the entire list as one thing, whereas in an array list, each object within that list is taken into memory in its own separate part. So it's a little bit more hard work, you could say, on the CPU. So arrays and enums are a little more efficient for memory because the number is fixed for the entire list. Going into a for statement for an array, the for statement array we have right here in our program. So all it is doing for in the array, really, both of these for statements, it's setting the locations of a bunch of objects. And so you can imagine that like the location array is like a grid, and each pass through that object may end up somewhere like column 2, row 3, for instance. And so that's what those for statements are doing right there. That's how they work with that array that we have them set for. Going more into exceptions and error handling in our program. So error handling really has to do with the try and catch statements that we have. And try and catch statements I really feel like are kind of just, they do exactly what they're saying they're doing. So like the program is going to try the statement right here and try and run that. And so with the input from the user, if that user doesn't meet the right input that function is trying to do, then what's going to happen is it's going to catch that statement. So that's what it's doing, it's catching it. And then it's going to print out this message that the number can only be 679. And so that's what the try and catch statements do, is they try a statement and then catch an error when it happens. As for throwing, so throwing statements, we're going to go over to our main class. So right here we have the main class, and it throws an app control exception. And so really all it's doing is callers of this main function, they're either going to have to handle the same routine or the same thing that the exception does with a try and catch statement, or they're going to have to propagate the exception by adding a throws statement to their signature as well. And so they'd have to, if they would use try and catch statement, they'd have to use a throws statement with the exception. So we're going to put into characters and byte streams really. So byte streams are system.out, system.in, for example. System.out being like the input from the user. And one right here, system.in, or system.in out input from the user. System.out is going to be what output, what the program output. And so the difference between those are bit streams. There's between those and character streams. Is bit streams are fixed, so they're gonna fixed, or they're not very flexible. So they're gonna be only for the use of writing it to this console kind of thing. Whereas character streams are a lot more flexible. They can be written to different files so that they can be used in different languages, for instance, around the world. And so really character streams are going to be more flexible on that, and bit streams are not. So just to give you examples of some bit streams, and examples of character streams. Right here we have print writer and buffer reader. So really those are program functions that are already in the Java program, and so we use those to convert all of our byte streams to character streams. So we go to our view superclass. Right here we have our buffer writer, and we're using them with these words, keyboard, and console. So what we did is everywhere in our view layers, few classes where we had system.in, we replaced with this .keyboard, and it's just converting that byte stream to a character stream, as well as right here from our consoles where we had system.out in our view layer, we changed it to this .console. Once again, changing that bit stream to a character stream, and those inputs and outputs now are on that character stream. So for running our program, sometime during the semester, so we started out having a lot of various problems, but we ended up getting we actually got a program where we got the welcome message, everything come out, we could enter in our name and everything. When we got to the assignment where we were doing what I was just talking about, we changed our system.out and our system.in to this keyword, the console. And we did that, it changed like our entire program wouldn't run at all anymore. And so we don't know if we like missed some step, maybe we didn't change one of the system.in to system.out like we were supposed to. But some along the line we missed something. So actually we sought help a lot. For instance, we sought help from my brother. He does Java programming a lot, and he couldn't find exactly why the program wasn't running. He said he wouldn't be able to find it unless he looked through all the code, and he didn't. Also, he wasn't with us the entire semester. He didn't know like all the assignments, everything we had done. And it's a hard thing to ask anybody to really look through our entire code and try and fix it, because it's a lot to look through. It's very demanding, and so that's where I was our program. Me personally, I was very disappointed that we didn't get it to run like we wanted to, like we were supposed to in this class. But I can definitely say that I learned a lot more. I learned a lot from this class, like in the past few weeks, just because I really kind of kicked it in gear and started to try and learn these things. Just with everything like I just talked about with the arrays and the for statements and all that. I do know I did learn a lot more. Wish I would have done a little bit better throughout the semester. Wish I got a program to work for, so we didn't. But I will definitely take that one from Brother Jackson. Brother Jackson taught me a lot. He gave me some good advice when I was kind of falling behind sometimes during the semester, and I'm definitely going to take that with me. But that is our program that doesn't run, but we know it would have been a good program had it run. And so, thank you very much. Thank you.